Women, they want to land a man before it's too late. If a woman waits until, for example, she's 40, her choices of men, it drastically falls. I mean, why would I want to date somebody who's 40? Think of it. I'm 50. And why would I want to date somebody who's 40? It's 10 years younger than me, but why 40? Coach Greg, in today's video, Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson, they're going to tell us how to get a girl. And so what we have is two guys who are jacked and rich on performance-enhancing drugs. They're going to tell us how to get a girl. We're going to see, does Coach Greg, the life coach, does he agree, disagree? And so if you want to know how to get the bitches, well, this is the video for you.
How to get a top-tier girl.
Oh, God. Did I say this?
And so it's even better. A top-tier girl. How to get a top-tier girl. I mean, it's not that hard to get someone who's perhaps a 1 or a 2, someone weighing 300-400 pounds. I mean, if you try a little bit, you probably get those girls. But how do you get the 7, 8, 9s, and God forbids even the 10s?
Oh, God. Did I say this?
Yes.
Is this mine?
Yes. I'm sorry, it is.
Is that a forced laugh? Is this mine? And so he's already read Alex's Hormozi's guides. He's got 41 hard truths that no one's going to tell you about. And so this is the main one.
How to get a top-tier girl. Number 1, get in shape.
Yeah.
Number 2, get rich.
Yeah.
Number 3, don't be a dick.
I mean, the first two, very important. The third one, I could argue not very important. But let's humor him. Let's hear him out.
So get in shape. I highly recommend. Like the first thing,
Get in shape. I mean, does anyone disagree with this? Think of it. You're a fat piece of shit. You look gross. You don't have proper hygiene. You don't have a haircut. You don't have a bald fade. You don't have nice shoes. You don't have nice clothes. And you just sit there looking gross. Imagine that's your partner. I mean, guys, most of you watching this are men. Imagine your girlfriend or someone that you're trying to get with. Imagine she's a fat and lazy piece of shit. She doesn't exercise. She doesn't go to the gym. She eats whatever she wants. She doesn't ever put on makeup. She doesn't comb her hair. And she dresses like a slob. Is that the type of girl that you yourself would want to? Do you not think that she wants an attractive man? Somebody who's not morbidly obese? Somebody that takes care of himself? If you can't, at the very least, try to look average. I mean, if you're 100 pounds overweight, lose 50. If you're 30 pounds overweight, lose 15. Don't let the body positivity movement fool you. Yeah, Lizzo could get away with it. Lizzo's also a female. Women, they can bag guys. It's not all that hard. They show up to the bar and someone's going to be asking them out, buying them drinks. And if they're on a dating app, even if they're a 1, there's going to be a chubby chaser somewhere trying to get in. And what I'm talking about is get into her panties. This is just how it works. But if you're a guy, you got to try to look good. Now, you have to agree with them. This is going to be the time in your life where it's the easiest. You're the youngest. You recover faster. You have higher levels of testosterone. And so what exactly are you doing that you don't have time? Playing video games? Like, really? You don't have time to go for a walk, to lift weights, to put the fork down? There's another time when you can probably get in shape, and that's probably when you retire. But do you really want to wait till you retire to bag a top-tier girl? I'm telling you, by then it's too late. How many girls out there are looking for 65-year-old men to hook up with? Last I checked, most hot girls, which on average for men are about 15 years younger than themselves. I'm not talking about men in their 20s, but older guys. You're likely going to get someone about 15 years younger. That's where you have an equal SMV. And so if you're like Coach Greg, probably a woman around 35 is an ideal match, someone that's of your equal. But if you're 65, she's probably going to be 50. And so why wait until you're 65 to date the hot 50-year-old when you can do it significantly younger?
all humans at ideal body weight and like normal levels of musculature are almost all attractive.
If you can be of an average weight, like if you're not grossly obese, you're probably going to be somewhat attractive to someone. I mean, if you're just a normal looking guy, there's nothing great about you. There's nothing not great about you, but at least you're fit. You're going to be somewhat attractive. Fit people are somewhat attractive, but if you don't do anything about it, if you don't give a shit, then why would she like you? I'll go from this quote from the Oprah Winfrey Show. I think I was a teenager when I listened to this. So she was dating a guy named Stedman. This is aging myself. Said something about this. Oprah, if you don't love yourself, how am I supposed to love you? If you can't love yourself enough to get yourself in shape, to be fit, that you don't care, then how are other people going to do the same for you? And so you need to love yourself to do something about it, to be proactive, to get fit, to give a shit. Because if you don't, other people are going to sense that vibe and they're not going to be interested.
Just don't have that be a constraint for you. Like, don't have it be a negative at the very least, right?
I've got this limitation and that limitation and another limitation. It's like, okay, so are you just adding another?
Yeah.
Think of it. If you're a 5'6" manlet like Coach Greg or Mike Isertel or Jeff Nippard, you know what you can do? You can get fit. Do these characters not have muscle? Do they not go to the gym? Now, Mike Isertel, he's taken it a little bit too far with the surgeries and so on, but you can at least go to the gym and work out. And level 2, after you take care of this, is in your body, you can get rich. I'm sorry. And if you can't get rich, you can at least try. You can try to get a decent living. It doesn't take millions of dollars, but you shouldn't be broke. You shouldn't be living in your parents' basement, because what does that tell you? Why would that girl that you like, whatever girl you think is attractive, why would she want to date you if you're fat, broke, and living in your parents' basement? I mean, you could have the best personality in the world. You're so funny and loving and caring and all the things that everyone wants you to be. But if you can't afford to keep a roof over your head, you can't even feed your woman, then why would she want to be with you? She needs to feel safe. Now, you might argue she can feel safe in your basement at your parents' house, but not really. What happens when they're no longer with us? What happens if they kick you out? A woman wants to feel like she's with a man who can provide for her. I'm sorry, but that is the truth.
They say they're depressed. He's like, well, you're living in your mom's basement, you're unemployed. It's like you didn't give yourself a chance.
Exactly. So you're depressed. And so if somebody were to come to me and say that they're depressed, I'd be saying, okay, well, let's try to work on that. How much cardio are you doing right now? How much exercise? How are you eating? Are you meditating? Are you reading books? What are you exactly doing? I play video games all day and I eat like shit and I don't ever exercise. I'm 100 pounds overweight. And I'm like, I'd be depressed too. I'm sorry. That's keeping it real. And so why don't we work on things that make you less depressed? Exercise. Now, you could argue, no, it's specific medications prescribed by your doctor. I'm going to argue that exercise is better than all of those. Now, don't go out and throw out all your medications, but I'm telling you, exercise is highly underrated in terms of making you feel better, not being depressed, and so on. Now, not saying that it's impossible to get depressed if you're exercising and you're in shape and healthy, but it's certainly going to help. And so please start there.
I can't find girls. Well, are you any of these basic things? No. Well, then do that first.
And so you can't find girls. Okay, let's start with the lowest hanging fruit. Get rid of that gross looking beard. Get a haircut. Put on a shirt without a stain on it and put on some nice shoes. And let's get a proper tan. Proper tan, highly underrated. Mepsigram, she absolutely loves it. And so you get the proper tan, you get a little bit of muscle, don't need a lot, you don't have to be jacked and on steroids, and lower your body fat to something that's healthy. Not saying single digit body fat, but something that's healthy, and your odds, they're going to improve. If only 1 in 1,000 girls could possibly like you, but you improve your appearance and now it's 1 in 100, your odds just went up tenfold, and that can make a big difference. And so if you're younger and you're trying to level up and you're trying to looks max and get in shape, of course, Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum and the cookbook. If you can lose weight, put on some muscle, go to the gym and be consistent, you're going to look significantly better and you're going to be able to choose from way, way more women than last time. If you're interested, of course, it's code Greg to save yourself 15% off, and we have a money back guarantee and a $20 gift card. And so if it doesn't work or exceed your expectations, 100% of your money will be refunded. And remember, if you're a fat piece of shit, it may not be your fault. Perhaps you're just unusually hungry. And in that case, you can pick up GLP Max. Now, if this isn't strong enough for you, remember code Greg 15%. You can go to Algo RX, of which they can sell you, for example, Ozempic or Tirzepatide. These are literally peptides you inject that's going to decrease your appetite. And it's prescriptions that are given by a doctor. It's not some shady lab. These are pharmaceutical grade prescribed by doctors, and it's very cheap, significantly cheaper than companies, for example, Merrick Health. And so if you're looking to save money, about half price, but still get pharmaceutical prescriptions by doctors, and it's not just these things. You can get, for example, enclomiphene, Cialis, Viagra, and so on. Click the link in description, code Greg, 10% off.
The rich thing is more, I mean, obviously for me, I think Professor G. Galloway said this.
Professor G, is he talking about Coach Greg? You know what? Hormozy has so many great ideas and admits to so many things, but why doesn't he admit that he blasted steroids? I mean, is it not interesting to you? Perhaps it's because him and his wife are both on performance-enhancing drugs or were on them. I mean, we've seen the voice changes and so on. And so why can't they just own that? I feel like he doesn't give a shit. Like, Alex says so many crazy things. He's had some very ridiculous comments in the past. But I give him the pass. He's just being open, honest, transparent. But why not about his use of performance-enhancing drugs? And so Alex, I do believe he abused steroids. He got more jacked. He got more fit. He put on all that muscle. He's very lean. And clearly that improved his appearance. And he is happily married. And so it worked.
It's more about the signal that you have the ability to gain resources more than having them.
No, I disagree. Signaling that you have the ability to gain resources. Okay, you're watching this video and you're 22 years of age and you think you can just tell girls, hey, I work hard. You know what? I'm the hardest worker in the room. I'm like The Rock. I wake up at 4:30 and I go to the gym and I train and I do this and I do that and I'm going to be rich one day. She's going to look at you and say, oh, that's great. Pick me up at 7. I don't have a car. All right, I'll come over, Netflix and chill. Let's go to your place. Oh, I'm living with my parents in their basement. No, signaling and saying, hey, I'm in university, I'm studying, it ain't going to work. Girls, they see with their eyes. You know, Mepsogram, she's doing some surgeries right now. I would confirm this, but she isn't here. Women, they see with their eyes. You can tell them all you want till you're blue in the face of how many things you're going to accomplish, but she's going to see what have you accomplished. This is what women do. This is the analogy. It's like we're all in a race, a marathon, okay? And what women do is they sit at the finish line and they cheer for the champion. Oh, here comes Coach Greg. He's about to win. I want Coach Greg. That's what women do. Now, some women, although very rare, they're going to cheer you on the entirety of the journey. They're there at the start line and you're stretching and you're warming up and you're saying, hey, I'm really good at running. Most women are going to say, okay, you're really good. How many races have you won? None. It's my first race. I'll see you at the finish line. We'll see. They're going to cheer for you, perhaps give you water bottles along the way. They're going to cook and clean for you. They're going to do all the things, encourage you. Not many women are like that. Most women are going to go for an older man who's already accomplished a lot and can provide for them. And they've already passed the test of time. When I say women see with their eyes, they judge a man's wealth, their value based on what they have, what they can see. They don't care how many zeros are in your bank account. Could be 7, could be 8, could be 9, maybe even 10. But if you don't show it in some way, perhaps you're wearing fancy jewelry, a diamond necklace, a Rolex, and Louis Vuitton clothes and so on, or you're driving a fancy car, you have a very nice house. If they don't see that, and all they see is a regular car and you're living at your parents' house, you can have all the money in the world, but if they don't visually see it, as in if you're not peacocking, they're not going to know this. And so what men do is they lie with their words. They will say, I make this amount of money, or they won't tell you, I'm involved in real estate. I have so much money. I own this and I own that, and I'm the head CEO of this. You have no idea if they're even breaking even, but they'll say a lot and they'll peacock. They'll be out at the bar and they'll spend their entire week's salary buying girls drinks. Girls will think, wow, he has a lot of money. Meanwhile, guy with tens of millions of dollars who's not buying them drinks, who has a lot of money, who isn't dressed nice, is just talking and not getting the girls. She's after bro who's spending all his money buying her drinks and alcohol and essentially lying through his teeth, making it look like he's a millionaire. There isn't really a difference between being a millionaire and pretending you're a millionaire, because girls, they see with their eyes. And so if you have a fake Rolex and a bracelet and some car that they think is expensive, then you, to them, for all intensive purposes, you are rich. The other guy who's invested all his money, who's invested in the stock market, that person, well, they aren't rich. You're not wearing anything fancy. You don't have the fancy watch on or the necklace. You're not racing cars. And so bro probably isn't making any money. Women, they need to see it to believe it. And so you can't, as Alex Hormozi just said, is to just show that you can make a lot of money, that you will. You actually have to go out and do it. But trust me, there's a lot of con men out there, and they can fake it till they make it, especially if they're 6'2", green eyes, and good looking. Those guys, they can make it. Remember, 25% of women out there have an avoidance attachment style, same as men. 25% are anxious and about 50% are secure. And so depending on the kind of girl that you want, if you're just out for one-night stands, well, go where they're going to get one-night stands. Bars. They're going to go there, use you, use them, back and forth, and it isn't going to go anywhere. And even if it does, it's going to be an endless nightmare. If you don't date someone who's secure, it's an uphill battle that's probably temporary. And so unless you have essentially guaranteed lifestyle where you're going to have a lot of money, for example, you're a med student in your final year, woman is not going to see your potential. They're going to be waiting at the finish line to see who comes out on top. And so, guys, I suggest you start training right now. If you're 15 years of age, you don't want to wait. The more years you can get under your belt where you're training for your future, the better. Women want to see it. And so when you're 20, don't be thinking, oh, I need to land my dream girl right now. Why would you do that? You are not even close to your prime. And so let's say you're a 23-year-old student and you're studying to be a doctor. Don't get married right now. Wait till you become a doctor. You will attract way more women, have way more women to choose from, and be much more likely to choose the ideal girl for you. And so for women, it is a race. It is a rush because women, their SMV, the sexual market value, it's going down every year after approximately the age of 27. Women, they increase in value as they get older. They're more ideal. Think of it, 19, 20, 21, they're getting hotter. They're looking better. They know what they want. They're learning a bit about themselves. But eventually they keep getting older and eventually they peak. And why is that? Well, I'm sorry, father time comes for everyone. Eventually you get older. Your skin starts to sag. You're getting your wrinkles. These are dropping, and eventually you won't be able to have kids. And so men, oftentimes, they do want to have a family. And so they're looking for women of childbearing age who are very attractive. Women, they want to land a man before it's too late. If a woman waits until, for example, she's 40, her choices of men, it drastically falls. I mean, why would I want to date somebody who's 40? Think of it. I'm 50. And why would I want to date somebody who's 40? It's 10 years younger than me, but why 40? But in the women's situation, it's in fact the opposite. Most women who are 40 are not going to be dating men in their 20s. But if you flip it around, it's quite the opposite. And so as a man, study, get a job, get good at what you do, and try to be somewhat attractive, and all the while develop a personality. Like, be yourself. What exactly is yourself? The self that you want to be. The self that attracts the certain type of person that has fun with you.
If you think about trust fund kid, now there is the element of having money, which does, for sure, there are girls who just want the money. But if you compare that to the young, hungry guy, I don't know if they win in a head-to-head.
They easily win in a head-to-head. Think of it. You're 25 years of age and you're worth $10 million. Your parents gave you a business. Your parents gave you the money. You didn't deserve it, technically. You just got it. This reminds me of a comment that somebody made about Meptigram. Why the fuck is a 304 a retina surgeon? Nepotism plays that far in medicine? On top of dating a dude on gear, which is against the medical ethics, these hoes really don't give a fuck book about ethical morality. This is a comment that somebody left on my wall because Mepsigram said, happy birthday, I was turning 50. So nepotism, I didn't even know what it was. And so apparently nepotism is when someone gets a job promotion or special opportunity because of family connections or personal relationships rather than they earned it. And so apparently Mepsigram's an eye surgeon because she had connections. But I mean, if nepotism were a thing, wouldn't half the rich kids out there be LASIK eye surgeons making millions of dollars rather than posting on Instagram and Twitter? I found this fascinating that people hate on others so much who are doing better than themselves that they'll do anything to tear them down. And so no wonder women wait at the finish line. I mean, you're literally an eye surgeon making close to $1 million a year, and all you get called is being a gold digger for dating Coach Greg. Like, rather than thinking they're a gold digger, why don't you just think that they're smart? Like, your IQ is way higher than mine, very, very intelligent, studied in school for 11 years, getting the highest average almost every single time. Like, do you know how smart you have to do to be able to get this job? She did 1 semester of Spanish in grade 10 or 11, and she knows it better than me. I've been studying it for over 500 days straight. I have a tutor from Colombia. Are women not just smart? Do they not just know what they're doing? How are you a gold digger if you're dating exactly who you want? A guy who she thinks is attractive. Remember, I have the proper tan. You guys see this tan? I mean, think of it. If you like tans, I got it. She likes men who make millions of dollars, and who doesn't? What is wrong with making millions? I prefer a man who's a millionaire than someone who makes 6 figures. Is there something wrong with that? And I like guys who work out and lift weights and who are dedicated to their craft, who spend countless hours being the best at what they do. And so think of this as an ultra endurance marathon, a 200 miler like David Goggins ran. And I've been sitting there finished for the last 10 hours. I got first place by miles. Why wouldn't she want to be with me? Oh, she just goes for winners. And so if you want to be able to get the girl that you want, remember, she slid in my DMs. I didn't even have to try. She fought for me. Maybe try to accomplish something in your life. Perhaps go to the gym, work out, get in shape. Develop a personality. Perhaps some of you don't like my personality, but those who know me, they love it. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but some people like it and some people don't. My suggestion is to be polarizing in the first place. I'd rather you find out on day one rather than wasting time what women are actually attracted to you. When a woman meets you, she puts you in one of 3 categories. Guys that A, she ain't never gonna sleep with you. You're a fat piece of shit. You're gross. You smell bad. She ain't touching you with a 10-foot pole. Next, she might, maybe, if you can convince her, maybe you get to know her for a year, you become her friend, and maybe she has a bad day and she's drinking too much and eventually she hooks up with you. Or, wow. I want this guy. That is my man. This is my jam. I want him. If she's not in the 3rd category on day 1, you don't want her. You might accept her. You might try to be with her, but because you can't get anyone who's at that level. You can't find a girl who actually wants you on day 1. And so you settle for girls you have to date, to court for 10 dates, 100 dates, get to know her, be her friend, blah, blah, blah. You have to waste all of your time for the chance that maybe she might like you, that maybe she might sleep with you. Why not just only date girls who think you're a winner? Get to the finish line in first place and have your pick of the litter. Does that not make more sense? And so notice, am I married? Did I just settle? I've dated plenty of girls in my past. Am I married to any of them? I read these comments. What happened to Greg's ex-wife? I didn't have an ex-wife. Why do you guys think I had an ex-wife? I didn't have a wife. I waited until I was a winner. And then I got the woman that I wanted. That is the strategy that I suggest for you. Anything less than that, well, I suggest it's possible that you're settling. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a man in your 20s that you can't settle down, that you can't get married. It's just less likely that you're going to be with that woman for the rest of your life because after all, there's a 50% divorce rate. Sometimes it's 60%. And even of those who are married, there's probably 50% who are married and living in misery. And so, my opinion, 75% of people who get married, they shouldn't. It's not working out. Just because a marriage lasts doesn't mean it's a happy marriage. And so why not wait? None of this moving in together in the first year and getting married in 1, 2, or 3 years. This is ridiculous. Take your time. Alex Ramosi in this video was talking about in the first 2 years when you're blinded by love, the dopamine, the excitement, the newness of it all. You don't know what you're doing. And you need to wait until enough time has passed so that they see you for you. The guy that sits on the toilet and shits 2 or 3 times in the morning and smells up the bathroom. That wasn't on her to-do list. That was in her fantasy repertoire book, in her spank bank. But it's going to happen. She's eventually going to see you farting. She's going to see you in a good mood, in a bad mood. She's going to know exactly what you're all about. Before she gets to know you, and applies to men as well, you put women on a pedestal, women put men on a pedestal, and you're imagining this is what it's going to be all about. This is what it'll be like. But once you get to know that person, you realize that no one can live up to your expectations. No one can live up to or be the fantasy of your imagination. It's important to give yourself enough time to get to know that person to make sure that she's right for you. But please start by choosing women who you know are into you on day one. Be yourself, say the things that you want to say. And also in this video, Chris Williamson talking about who is your best friend? And if you can't answer that, well, who are you least filtered around? Do you want to be with a woman that you have to pretend for the rest of your life to be something that you're not? Or can you just be yourself, laughing at said jokes, thinking what you want, and out loud, telling her exactly how you're thinking and how you're feeling? Or do you want to have to fake it until you make it? Do you not want to be with a woman who's your best friend, who you can talk and laugh about anything, who you have fun with every single day? Or do you just want to be with the hot girl that you don't even want to be around? Perhaps you want to have sexy time, but you don't talk, you can't connect, she isn't fun, and perhaps she's just not your person. And so wait until you're older, until you can find your dream girl the way I have. You don't need to do it at 20. 25, 30. You have the rest of your life. There's no rush. But for right now, if you're young, get in shape, study, get a job, and develop a personality that you can be proud of, that your parents would be proud of, that your friends are proud of, that you, of all people, are most proud of, and show that person to the world.
And so
it's the same reason that the starving artist sleeping on his friend's couch, but who's got lots of upside potential, is attractive.
Yeah.
No, that guy isn't attractive. No. Why do they think he's attractive? No, that guy isn't attractive. No. Starving artist on the friend's couch. No, that guy isn't attractive. He's getting girls because he's hot. He's 6'3". Like Chris Williamson. When you're 6'3", some girls are going to like you. When you're attractive, you can get girls, especially when you're young. But can you keep them?
And then finally, it's just don't be a jerk. Like, I'm not saying you have to be the world's sweetest whatever, but just don't be a dick.
I would suggest that it's probably better to be somewhat of a jerk. And by being a jerk, I mean standing up for what you believe. The opposite of being a simp. Like, some people confuse being a jerk with being an asshole, but it's not the same thing. Like, don't be an asshole. Like, don't treat people with disrespect, but stand for something. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your woman. If you're a simp and you just do everything that you're told and you don't have a backbone, that is not attractive. For example, if you like to party, you're doing bad things. Perhaps you're sniffing creatine. You're doing whatever you do. You're being a guy. Not saying that you should be doing this, but if you are, and you meet a woman and she says, you know what, you need to change. You need to stop going out with your friends. You need to stop sniffing the creatine. Stop doing this, stop doing that, or I'm not with you. Well, you probably shouldn't change. Because if you do in fact change, then you're not the person that she fell in love with in the first place. And if you change, she's probably going to move on. If she can control you, twist your arm. No more friends here, no more going out, no more hanging around with that person, this person doing this and doing that. She's probably going to lose respect for you. You might be thinking, oh, you're doing it for her. It's great. But if you're changing only to please her, then you're never going to win. Women don't want a man that they can control. They want a man who will lead them.
What does don't be a dick consist of?
Is there something that is non-negative to me that is beneficial to her.
No, I'm going to they failed in that definition. By not be a dick should be changed to say be yourself. Whatever that may be. Be yourself. If being yourself is being a dick, perhaps you make stupid jokes. I mean, look at Mike Israetel. Mike Israetel has a woman. All he does is do inappropriate gay jokes all the time, and it works for him.
I'm Henry Cavill.
Jesus Christ. You know, I wake up every day and I tell myself I'm the straightest man that's ever been born, and it's all lies.
If being rude is your thing, it's your jam, and that's what attracted the girl, then continue to do that. Whatever is you want a girl to fall in love with you for yourself. If you like doing all these things, perhaps you like making rude jokes all the time. This is just the way that you roll. If you don't do any of these things and you stop being yourself and you convince a girl to like that version of you, well, you're going to, for the rest of your life, have to pretend you're something that you're not. You're thinking, I just want to tease my girlfriend. I want to joke around. I want to be playful. I want to curse and swear. If you can't be yourself, what is the point? And so, hey, I don't think you should be a dick, but I do think you should be yourself.
Worth bringing up early if you are on this, like, you know, I would like to find somebody trained. This is something that worked exceptionally well, which is and I think our first or second date, I just said up front all the non-negotiables that I had.
Yeah, it only works when you're rich. We're on date 1, and I'm going to sit there and be like, I want this and that, and you need to do this, and this is what I expect, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. I mean, if you're dating an escort, perhaps, that would be okay. But you can't on date 1 give all that you expect. I need you to do this. I want you to pop out 2 kids. You need to cook 3 square meals a day for me. I expect it in that hole at least 3 times a week, every other day. And at least 3 or 4 times a week, you got to be giving me a BJ. It's a bit too much. And so unless you've been waiting at the finish line and you've already won the competition, and you can be very, very selective. I'm talking about you're just a 10 out of 10. You can't make these demands on day 1. Like, save it a little.
The less you can make the discrepancy between how you're, quote, acting or performing and who you are at baseline for that person, the better it's going to be long-term, because they're going to find out eventually.
I mean, he is 100% right. You have to act like yourself on day 1. The less of this courting and faking and bullshitting. I mean, it might work, but then eventually they're going to find the real you, and then they're going to fall out of love, and they're going to cheat on you with somebody else who does give them what they want. And so is it really worth it? I mean, it might feel like it at the time, but you're better off just getting somebody that likes you for you on day 1. The more you can be like yourself on day 1, the better. I just don't think on day 1 you have to like state, this is what I demand, this is what you need to do. I mean, it's just going to be a bit off-putting, and so be a little careful with that.
Early on, I would start sending them Psychology Today articles and weird Substack posts and stuff, just to see, are we going to have it at some point when we next catch up? Are we going to have a discussion about this? Yeah. I think it's important to me to be able to talk about this with my person.
Well, yeah. I mean, you should be able to talk about what you like to talk about on day 1. You don't think on the first date I'm talking about YouTube and working and video ideas and so on. If that's your life, that's your life. You should be open to talk about it. Hopefully this helps for you to get your dream girl harder than last time. And if she wants you harder than last time, pick up Harder Than Last Time for the downstairs. You know what it's for. Code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it, watch one bloop, don't care which one, watch one. Cookbooks, Circle Diet Book, coaching plans by me and my team, all the things, momentous clothing. Get to the website, check out the link below, and until next time, I am out.